And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire. Our computer needs its robot army. It's round 57, and the end turn was bad. Let's see if we can deal with the consequences. We got 7 decisions and a lot of problems to deal with. Station upgrading payment requires investment instead of regal clothing. Okay. Okay, we got Bazooka 2, we got Light Thopter. Rallies in favor of Red Love's faction. We just let them happen. We love democracy. Protocols require regalia of state. Sure. I got the political power here. We'll take government.
Aye, aye, sir.
Work decisions. This is too expensive, I think, for the staff council. I'm going to delay that. Military, discovery versus research. It's always tempting to go more research when you got stuff to research, and more discovery when you've got stuff to discover. Although I've kind of got a mix of the two. I want to discover heavy combat. Yeah, mainly want to discover heavy combat. Mines wouldn't be too terrible. I think heavy combat's the thing I definitely on discovery for, so we'll leave him on discovery. I'll leave him balanced between two.
Roger that.
I think here we're gonna go with no new orders. Yeah. So you're available for the moment we get the laser rifles. Battle Jojo discovered. If we immediately shut it down, we get 9% bonus on the militia units. We get 200 recruits per turn. Again, this is a no-brainer. Usually you want the recruits. So unless you're role-playing autocracy versus enforcement, you go with the enforcement. Continue. Grid space is holding celebrations. If we send a big delegation where guaranteed to complete with a successful result, I can short it a bit. Although it's going to be cheaper to send the big delegation than to do a shadow spy, which would be the other way. I could do B instead of A. So we will just do the big delegation.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Ridge space, in theory, likes this more. Yeah, 75, 44. Still at 20 here, and these are the guys that just gave us a whole big can of problems. So what I'm hoping to do by cutting their supply line here is cause them to think twice and pull back. We're not going to be at peace with them this turn. We're probably not even going to be at peace with them next turn, because it depends upon the RNG of our rolls.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Yeah, we got +2. I need 25. So it's not happening this turn. It may reach 25 next turn. Also get some RPGs in case they don't leave of their own volition, and I need to actually shoot them. I suppose this is a point where I can check. So race formation, OHQ, assault, light armor, infantry, machine gun, and motorized. Okay, so I don't have RPG infantry, which would be the one that distributes the RPGs throughout the infantry unit, which I would like. When I get laser machine guns, I might start upgrading these guys with actual machine guns. So I'd do the infantry MG version. Partially because the laser MGs they're using lasers and they're not as absolutely ammo hungry as the normal machine guns are. Those can be a bit aggressive with their ammo consumption. When I basically don't have any industry it's going to connect to this road, I'm like looking at my industry like, no, that's a bad idea right now. And yeah, trying to do anything aggressive up there is probably a recipe for disappointment.
Understood.
So construction is done except for the airbase. The airbase might actually finish next turn. Still in middle of the pack at 6. Sure, we're facing number 4, so the scary thing is we're on a hard difficulty, so the AI is definitely much better on hard difficulty at putting out armored vehicles than it would otherwise seem like it should reasonably be able to do. Still working in position, still working on laser rifles. +7, +10, so the bureaucratic push did help.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Roger that. Roger that.
Okay, let's try to get them to trade with us. Shadow Diplomat, Director, Foreign Affairs.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Major. Trade. So, 153 to 150, so we're guaranteed to get the trade deal. 53% chance we'll get critical success.
Yes, sir. Roger that,
Critical
sir.
success, so that is a nice opinion buff. On these guys, so we got them to 95. That should help to delay any war. It's going to be a harder ask to roll on them, but we will try. So another Shadow Diplomat, please. Director, Foreign Affairs.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Major. Trade.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Critical failure actually pissed them off. Shame. Probably shouldn't have taken that roll then. We kind of limp away here. They're on our supply line, which is annoying. That one tank. Although I've got it encircled enough. Anything I should probably pull back with these guys, because they're probably gonna be the next target. Okay. Cycle the turn. Let's see if the situation continues to deteriorate or if it shows a slight recovery. Again, this is why we need improved armor and improved weapons. Even the laser rifles would be a significant improvement here, because it would be a 50% armor penetration improvement. Against the armored vehicles, the laser rifles would be a lot less ineffective than the current assault rifles. Okay, so the unit we encircled did basically attempt to break out, which works for me. Things are not going well. Although things are not going super bad. Definitely our kill to loss ratios are not good kill to loss ratios. We're losing units and really not causing any casualties. This is bad. Okay, back around to us, round 58. Yeah, we killed one subunit of tanks, so 10 tanks. We lost 16 subunits of infantry. We have one decision awaiting us. They foresee war. Well, we're going to do what we can to convince them that we're not going to war.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
It was not enough to impress them. They've turned hostile.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Okay, so we've got them over 25. So we'll be able to see what proposed peace looks like.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
And they're at 17. Yeah, probably wasn't enough to really help much.
Understood. Understood.
Okay, yeah, the RPG unit going by itself is probably not slated to do particularly great. Probably want some backup. I feel like we got hammered badly enough we actually may have lost some subunits there. Okay, so in a situation we can take our mine back. Okay, so we're at the position next turn we can ask whether it will be well received is a different problem.
Understood.
Airfield didn't finish. Yeah, the tank's not quite so close that it's in strike range. If it gets any closer, I might be tempting to actually put some planes up to try to bomb it. Medium rocket, yeah, that would be a decent thing for bombing with. Do you need airfield 3? Yeah, I could put you up. Only operational range of 4 hexes. It doesn't quite have the range. Fighters would have the range if it got 1 hex closer. Although that would just be coming in with guns. Although guns wouldn't necessarily against the light tank wouldn't be that terrible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then tech-wise, 34 on the laser rifles, that's still a way out. No look at heavy combat. Summarization's 58. We haven't discovered the high tech. Okay. Situation could definitely be worse. Needless to say, with growing hard from the casualty rate, we are gaining virtue, not losing it. And yeah, we are literally at the point where, oh, actually, apparently faction attitude towards Syndicate democracy went down a little bit. We're getting real close to the point where if we could just have the Syndicate faction to spawn in, we could swap to Syndicate computer.
Affirmative.
Yeah, probably do with a better response to those tanks, which is... Actually, the better response to most things is just get the laser weapons. I need to get the laser weapons in. Does that even be a better response to these guys? Because then commerce would be a 50% pen improvement against that armor. Would be nice if we weren't in like glacial tech speed rate to wait for heavy combat, but that's probably too much of an ask at the moment. It's gonna cycle the turn. We've got a plan, just gotta suffer until the plan comes together, right? It's kind of the zone I'm in. So I suspect this guy's gonna pull back. He could be really annoying and go running off towards my road. That would be really annoying, but he'd be just running away from his supply lines if he did that. Same sort of thing with this one. This one's probably not going to advance, but he could just break through and go running off towards the road. Sometimes the AI does things that are smart in an annoying way. Okay, they're pulling back. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to attack. Yeah, here comes the units rolling up to do their attack. The question is, are they going to attack? Yeah, some attacks there, that's an attack. We got airstruck, no immediate damage from the airstrike. Here we go, round 59. We killed 10 tanks over the end turn. We lost 5 in infantry, so not a particularly great trade. We have 2 decisions. Radiation cleansing has been discovered. Yeah, still focus on design.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
And Diplo decision. Offering us machinery for that price, for that much machinery, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we just take it.
Roger that, sir.
Kind of no-brainer price level. So before I get too carried away with just taking stuff, how plausible is the peace proposal? Guaranteed. If I propose it, it will be signed. Okay. That's, I think, the borders are going to sign for. Likely get a free. Well, if the peace lasts long enough, it's a free kill on that, and a free kill on that. Propose peace.
Yes, sir. Roger that,
Peace is
sir.
accepted. They're hostile, so it's probably going to decline back into war relatively quickly. I'm just going to have to hope that I can keep the status quo going long enough to get my weapon upgrades.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Well, that barely moved the needle. That might split open into a hot conflict closer than I would like. Sooner than I like. Okay, my airfield is done. I'm not going to immediately stand up a plane. That was what I was going to do if we weren't at peace. To try to ward off some of the airstrikes down here. Meantime,
Yes,
keep
sir.
pushing the bureaucracy.
Yes, sir.
Make those researchers
Yes, sir.
research. Like their life might literally depend upon it, I suppose, if things go really horribly. Air intervention, cabinet retreat. Let's do a cabinet
Yes,
retreat.
sir.
Let's actually do both cabinet
Yes,
retreats.
sir.
This is to buff the both the opinion and the XP of our cabinet. Okay, with the situation secured, I can go on the offensive up in the north against the mutants. How far north can I push a brigade in a deploy? Not very far north. So they're mostly going to have to march up there. Might hold off, given that's the case. Yeah, we'll hold off a turn. We'll get our units reinforced in the south. If things are still looking good, I might start reorganizing the army. Although that really probably wants to hold off until I have laser weapons. Generalized reorganization. I have joined struggle and we have a chance to lose it. Okay. Don't have due process, we have a chance to gain it. One scrap point, so nothing I want to spend it on yet. Well, not enough to spend either. And we still don't have the syndicate faction. Yeah, none of them syndicate aligned. Some of them do for their radical ideology like Syndicate Computer, so to some degree. I think there's only one actively opposed. Only one actively opposed. So, once we get that syndicate faction, it should be fairly easy to get the conversion, peaceful conversion. So, yeah, I think that's where we put the part break in. Or not the turn break in, cycle the turn. Still got another half an hour before we put another part break in. Yeah, definitely in a situation where I need to get that laser rifles out. Although, as you saw with how quickly we got the bazooka model redesign done, once we get laser rifles, it's going to be very quick to get those riflemen upgraded, and then very quickly, probably after that, to get the machine guns upgraded. And then I think I'll redesign the units to be infantry machine gun combos. The reason I've been holding off putting machine guns in them is it's not that good for attacking. So it doesn't really help against unaligned very much. And it's a lot of ammo, which without an ammo factory is a problem. But when we swap to laser weapons, laser machine guns and plasma machine guns are not as ammo drinking as their kinetic counterparts. They still drink like 3 times the ammo of the rifle equivalent, but comparing that like 5 times what you get with a regular kinetic machine gun, that's probably worth it. Also, I didn't look too hard at what type of plane they were striking with us. I suspect it was a close air support style plane, so it's probably low altitude. Machine guns can shoot those. So if we get enough machine guns dispersed amongst the guys when we go to war again, the planes will be a little bit less harmful. Might even be able to shoot them down. And yeah, we're watching. We're at peace with all 3 of the majors that touch us. Once I got laser rifles, it might be tempting to let one of them declare on us again so that we can field test the new weapons, but it's a few turns out. To be fair, we might not really have a choice. One of them, I think, is hostile and below 25, so they will probably declare on us eventually. Round 60, we have 3 decisions. Sophisticated governance. Okay, so at this point we're like, I think it's time to leave democracy. We need to get into a fancier new government type because we've picked up all the cards associated with it. Protests. Use money to calm them down, please. For democracy, that's what we do. We get praised. Yes, of course, a warmer relation would be welcome. And just if we agree to that, it works. I could also go, yes, but send a nice gift of friendship as well. So I send the money. That makes it so easy, there's no difficulty on the roll. Also boosts the payout in heart and democracy, which we want. So yeah, I will pay that money.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
They've turned to friendly. Of course, that's these guys. So the one that was prone to starting something is still prone to starting something. We'll take enforcement here to help suppress the wage growth amongst the bureaucracy. Yeah, so you're friendly. Do I have an embassy with you? I do. Do I have a non-aggression pact with you? I don't. It passes on one, so I'm just gonna roll it.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
I've got a basic pass, but I just sent an opinion boost from Ridge Space, so Ridge Space is looking good. We're hostile, but 44 at them, so that's not a concern. Like you to like us better. I'm willing to pay them half the treasury for that. Yes.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
Failure. Okay, well I didn't pay half the treasury because it was only a basic failure. Our units were able to reinforce, so they're up to size. I think we try to shorten the front line, bringing our guys into cohesive lines. If I can. Because again, less worried about war these guys, more worried about war these guys. So I need to pull troops to give a bit of a coverage of that front, because that's the one that's going to go hot if they go hot. Okay. And yeah, I'm a little bit tempted to push another brigade for going up north against the mutants. Mutants aren't hostile, but the mutants are expandable real estate. We can see how scary the mutants are, and the answer is not. 11 soft attack versus 66. So our guys are like 6 times their strength. 42%. Yep, no heavy combat armor discovery yet. 8,000. Heavy combat would actually be pretty quicker to research than laser rifles if it popped up. I might, if we're at peace, be tempted to delay upgrading to laser rifles if I can get heavy combat armor as the upgrade, as a discovery before then. Probably won't, though. Okay, Greater Carves we're going to pass on, because that's going to add more to the discovery pool that we don't want yet. Sophisticated Governance we will run.
Sir.
So Sophisticated Governance reduces the law upkeep by 40%. So right now, law, and this should be the numbers from beginning of turn. We're paying 244 bureaucracy and 594 credits. That should be reduced by 40%. And we've actually moved up into 5th. So someone moved down. We're going to keep pushing that bureaucracy.
Yes, sir.
And doing cabinet retreats to boost skill gain on our Director of Military and Eco. Stabilization moved 9% last turn, so that's good to see. Laser rifles moved 4%. Get that happiness a bit back up. Now that we've got them pushed back, I'm not at complete risk of losing the city. We'd like the population to like us somewhat. Think raise a brigade, start marching them towards that front. Make it a regular brigade. Do I have a reserve pool for personnel? 1. So he's going to get hired. Let's roll for another military to see if we can get a better one.
Yes, sir.
I think that might be better raw stats, but he's not going to learn and he's not very good. So the answer to is it better is maybe. Is it good enough? It's a different problem.
Roger that.
I mainly did that. Well, the initial blush, I thought that was the one that actually gets money into the zone. But apparently I asked the zone for money. The money's like, here, have... The zone's like, here, have money. Not going to complain too much about that. The city is growing. Let's actually see. Can we get... how many free folk can we get in the city?
Roger that.
Yeah, not enough. It's not going to be worth paying that much political power to try to push it over the 2,000. The free folk camps must be pretty small at this point, what I'm guessing. We got lots of little ones. 4, 3, 8. There's one big one there. Yeah. Okay, the situation is secure. Could be better, but it's secure.
Understood.
So there's another option now that I have all the feet for regular democracy, is I could intentionally tank virtue to try to swap the spoiled. We could start trying to pull some of the spoiled ones. Again, sitting in the middle of a pack, that is doable, but it shouldn't collapse rapidly if I'm not actively doing anything. Okay. Again, nothing necessarily concerning. I don't think we're at war with either the, well, either the two that would declare on us with these two. This one's the one most likely to. Good to go back to being the one doing the causing the casualties rather than the one receiving the casualties. Landalar, round 61. We killed 4 infantry. We have 6 decisions. Time of bureaucracy. So we've exited the time of revolution. We've entered a time of bureaucracy. Your bureaucratic points will be nice. Gained logical thought. Phoenix Pawn declared on us. Okay, so I didn't think they had, but they had. And I think that's the mutants attacking. Corporate scientist is not terrible. Although it could still be a bad roll. Force the workers to stop protesting. Promise to investigate the CEO in due time. Support the workers or get rid of the leader's CEO. The leader likes me. I have options as that effect. Org, it's just gonna confirm here. APC, ooh. Again, another one. Want to wait until we have the laser weapons. Or I've got to build the ammo factory. I'm gonna do the APC. So I'm gonna say no new orders for the moment. Zone decision. Slave trader. It's rolled up into Ion. Is Ion this one? Ion is this one. So if I want to be immoral, opportunity to pick up people. Although that is heart. Do not want heart. Do I roleplay here and get rid of the slave trader? I don't feel rich enough. Although it's only 300 a turn, I probably am rich enough. The thing to remember when you're dealing with the slave trader is the slave trader is going to cost the city 100 pops every turn. So every turn you hit the buy pop button, you're up 1,900 pops. Every turn you don't, you're down 100. So if you're able to constantly come in here and push this button, which in our case, because we're trying to do government art, would be commerce art removal. So we drive down government, we drive down heart. So that would be the drawback here. Although the slave trader is quite powerful. I think we will get rid of them. So you are going to want some help. The help I'm going to supply you with is 1 shadow spy.
Roger.
You will have a man on the inside. D100 plus 120 versus a 60 plus a D50. So we are guaranteed to deal with the traitor. 175 versus 79, success. Everyone in the compound is dead as it gets. We liberated 900 slaves. As you can see, dealing with the problem, if you're going to actively be buying slaves, it's probably better to actively be buying slaves than to just deal with the problem, but the problem is dealt with. Champions, workers. Small raise. We'll come back to this one. I think we're going to punish her on the national decision, which is going to make her less happy. And then we'll come back here and agree to the raise, which will make them happy. Appoint a commander to the new unit. Choice between you and you. I think you're the one who's going to get it. Although, actually, suitability ratings implies that you're better. Yeah, this is like defense. You're better at defense and improv. So you'd actually be better just at a random position. You're specifically better at military. Although, bad at everything else. Not very good at military, but...
Copy
Sure,
that.
you get the job for the moment. You know, I'm gonna get the virtue increase by taking the CEO away. Which gets his heart. I'm then going to do the government choice, because we are pro-government, to boost her opinion. Her opinion's still not very good, so we're going to want to do stuff to improve that. Let's do, on the national scale, a governor convention.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's not going to be particularly great.
Roger that.
Get a corporate scientist is a good one. No, oh, that was overpriced for what it was.
Yes, sir.
There we go. Pinning back to max. Anyway, we're at war with you again. We're also at war with you. So which of the fronts am I more worried about? Short answer, it's not the mutants. So the troops I was about to send up the mutants are in fact going to turn around and go the other direction. Let's do some reconnaissance and force here. Okay, I'm actually going to open up here by sending them money.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
I got them to 5. Or got them over 6. The reason here is a critical success on this one is plus 20. So, the higher it is, because these guys probably want like a 1-0 specifically. The higher it is, the harder these ones are going to be. This one I think also gets harder, but this one's a diplomacy roll, so I can shadow diplomat that one. Can't shadow diplomat the other one.
Yes, sir. Roger that, sir. Yes, sir. Roger that, sir. Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
And for the moment, I think these guys are not doing super great. I remember their place on the victory score. No, they're in last. I would like to bolster, because they like us right now. I'd like to bolster them as much as I can to use them as distraction against Phoenix Bond. So the more tech sharing I can do with them, the better. So we're going to be trying to tech share with them. Might even try to tech share with these guys. We know they have tech that we don't, right? We know they have Gauss. Although I'd probably only discovery share with them. I probably don't do the more aggressive ones than that. They don't like us enough to get the fancy stuff. Okay, strategic movement puts the army in the city, or in front of the city. Good place to be for the moment. Okay, we're gonna get tight. I was gonna send them up here, but with the active war, they go to the non-active. They go away from the non-active front. So with what we can see, there doesn't appear to be any hostiles up in that corner. on air bridge. Construct road. I'm decently good on industry, so we're going to do the dash across the short bit of desert there. To give these guys supplies to sort of wrap up that northern corner. And that has acquired us 2 ruins. I would like to know if there's anything in those ruins.
Roger that.
There is nothing in those ruins. Well, besides the scrap. It's normal scrap. Nothing but normal scrap. And I'm willing to tank the virtue right now for a bunch of political power.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that was a word square. Whoops. Well, I already did the word square. It's too late to undo that. Down to shifting. Fair enough. Force their hand and grease the machine. We'll do force their hand.
Sir.
And grease the machine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I think we're good for the moment. Again, for virtue is stable. We're high enough that we're now getting a negative from complacency because we're up in the proverbial podium of this game. And I just tanked the virtue fairly low. Not enough to go spoil democracy, but closer. Anyway, we would like to go syndicate democracy, although the syndicate faction still has yet to spawn in. Hopefully it spawns in soon. Bullets are looking fine. We don't know how scary Phoenix Bond is. So my reconnaissance in force is more about better to have to withdraw from their territory in a staged degree than finding how scary their guys are right outside the city limits. So push forward, see what they're like, and then do a fighting withdrawal to buy time while we're trying to get to our laser weapons. 48. So at the current rate, which includes some bureaucratic pushing, we're still expecting it to be another 9 turns. 3 for Zermatization. What would I do with eco if I finish eco? Don't need methane. Don't need water. Well, this is a desert world. Maybe I do want Mortisol decomp. Probably start on VidCom and Turnip Discovery. The big one I'm missing right now for Econ is High Tech. I might even turn Econ down if we get High Tech complete. Because that's the big thing we're looking for in Econ. I can get my robots. Oh, did I have heavy? Well, we started with heavy. I haven't built any heavy. But at the current rate from what we're getting from I think the rare is every once in a while. I think you are every once in a while giving me, because it's on a rare deposit, giving me a machine part. It's not guaranteed to give me a machine part, which is why our machine parts look good but are not going up. Did not go up last turn. Okay, let's cycle the turn. And we'll put the part break in as soon as end turn completes. And I will go make a new cup of tea. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can expect there to be another part up tomorrow. Not everything is sunshine and rainbows, but we're not in a state of absolute, unquestionable panic. The big thing I'm lacking is effective weapons. Could go with better armor, too. We'd really like heavy combat armor. Combat's okay, but you really want the heavy. Battle dress is a luxury a lot of the times, but heavy combat armor is good. I also need to get, at some point I'm going to, probably if the Staff Council comes up again and is cheaper, if it's like 20 for the Staff Council, it probably won't be, it'll probably like 30. But if it's like 20, we'll pick Staff Council up with the goal of trying to get RPG infantry, or ideally Grenadiers, which is RPG and machine guns in the infantry brigades. So I can disperse defensive weapons out across the brigades. A lot of the situations where we're getting hammered by attacking units would be mitigated by just getting an RPG and a machine gun in each of those units. Even without equipment upgrades. We're also looking for equipment upgrades. Right, the laser rifles is a good upgrade. It'll be a bit of a stretch to run to plasma. Plasma is, if we're going energy weapons, plasma is endgame. That's the final plasma, the final energy weapon. We get attacked. We are getting the enemy is showing that they are better. They've got 3rd generation infantry, which I suppose after realizing they're in the 3rd generation does not make that super surprising. So 3rd generation probably means, given the advanced start here, that they are on Gauss as well. They may even be on Charge Gauss. Oh, that's not good. Although they didn't attack us, and we know that the mutants are weaker than us, mono a mono. So that's concerning because they've cut the supply lines, less so that it's actually a big threat to the units they've encircled. We'll probably be able to do sort of a reorganized withdrawal back into the supply situation. We'll be picking up next time at the bottom of round 62. We did lose 500 infantry over the intern to one of the majors. We'll have 4 decisions awaiting for us. We are still awaiting the syndicate faction to spawn so we can have our computer. I think we're at the position where if we can get that faction to spawn, we will have our computer very rapidly. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, there will be a part up tomorrow. And if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. We are going to take a short break here so I can go replace the cup of tea. We'll be back to stream the next part after the tea is replaced. So until the next part, I am going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.